Hello and welcome to Set Up and Paid Off, a movie night podcast where three friends turn their movie nights into a podcast. This is our second official episode, and the plan is to upload an episode on the first of every month, and at the end of each episode, we'll tell you what we're watching next time, so you can join us. And without further ado, let's get into the episode.
Alright. I'm hungry.
So we gotta record this?
Yeah.
So we can eat.
Are you sure you don't want some pizza oven to hold you over? Or another
Or
cookie?
a cookie.
You want a
cookie?
They're in my purse. You can just go ahead and...
Alright. What did we watch?
Hateful Eight,
Wait.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and...
Your favorite? Deathproof.
Deathproof.
For some
For
reason,
some reason, I
go
was
ahead.
thinking like Dread Night or
Judge Dredd?
something. Yeah.
Deathproof is the one I remember the most. Probably because I've seen the other ones like 500 times.
It's also the one we watched last, so
Yeah.
could be that.
And I did write a review on that. I didn't write a review on the other one.
No. I wrote down notes for all of them while I was at work. So it was a Tarantino, Kurt Russell night.
Oh,
That's
hold on.
what the theme was.
Hold on, before we get too
Get
into
to
it. Is House of Gucci good?
we were actually gonna run something by you.
Okay.
Because we have differing opinions on that. We went and watched
I'm
it
assuming
last
you
night.
like it. You gave it a 3.5.
Yeah.
Pretty solid.
I was thinking, not as part of this episode,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe after we record this episode, we can do a little mini episode where we
Where I try to convince you to watch the movie, and he
Okay.
tries to tell you why you shouldn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will say, just from like the advertisements and the casting decisions, and I'm not a huge fan because you have a bunch of American actors playing Italians.
So we'll get... If I say anything, it's going to spoil the fun.
Okay.
So...
I just thought it was strange. Just get Italian actors. I mean, they are good actors, but I haven't seen it. I don't know
Okay.
what their accents are like, but I assume it's not very good.
We will talk about it. We will certainly talk about
Okay.
it. So Hateful Eight. I don't even... What do we say about Hateful Eight?
I liked it.
You liked it?
I did.
liked it a lot as
I
well.
do too.
Good.
I don't...
We've all seen it before. This
Yes.
isn't our
Mhm.
first viewing.
I've seen it like 4 or 5 times.
That's a full day.
Yeah, actually though. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. Like, it's just fun. It's just a really fun, boring
It is.
movie to watch. Nothing happens, really.
No, but it's also... It's boring, but it's very entertaining.
Yeah.
Boring in the sense that, like, there really is. There's nothing. Like,
It's just people talking.
yeah.
In
Oh.
one location.
Mm-hmm.
For 3.5 hours, if you watch the extended.
Yeah.
Which we did.
Yeah. But it's so
Wacky.
encapsulated. Like,
Yeah.
You want to keep watching because all of the characters lead you into the next thing. Like, there's never any...
it's not really any downtime.
Right. Like, there's always something happening, and
Mhm.
all of these characters, like, make you feel involved. Like,
Mhm.
you're there.
I guess that is something important to mention is, like, yes, nothing happens. There's no big action scene. But there's a lot of
Well,
little shit, well, like Avengers style, Age of Ultron, battling on.
You know,
Right.
leading up to
Yeah.
it.
Like, all of the events are very important in the context of where they are. So it's like, we're eating stew now. That's what's important. And that
Mhm.
is an event.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, we know these characters' relations to each other, and it matters where they sit.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
yeah. Yeah.
It's like, that is an event. Or every time they walk through the goddamn door,
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
they have to hammer it shut, and they're just shouting, gotta
two
use
boards!
two boards, not just one, two.
Two boards!
And then they'll pause. You gotta use 2 boards. So, and then, like, going to the goddamn outhouse.
Yeah.
Or coming back from the outhouse is just... It's an adventure.
Poor Obi.
Poor Obi.
He's the first one to go.
Justice for Obi. He did nothing wrong. He died.
He just gets shit on the entire movie.
Yeah. I guess we usually do like a synopsis of what happens.
Yeah.
I feel like this movie's too long to do a synopsis, though.
Well,
So, like,
we don't have to go into every detail, but like, I guess I have one. Unless you have one. You've seen the way more than I have.
well,
Seen it twice.
I mean, Samuel L. Jackson's character, Major Warren, I believe his name is.
Major Marquise.
Mm-hmm.
Not Marquis.
Mm-hmm.
Marquise.
Yeah. He stumbles into John Ruth, Kurt Russell,
The Hangman.
the hangman. He has a reputation of always bringing his bounties in alive, so they hang.
Yeah.
And he has Daisy Domergue with him,
Who's worth $10,000.
$10,000. They say that at least like 14 times in the movie.
Yeah.
They say everything 14 times in this movie.
Yeah.
And it doesn't get tired.
But it's not like, ugh.
Right.
Yeah.
But he runs into John Ruth, and then, yeah, there's a blizzard coming.
Yeah, they're on the road.
They're all on the road. There's a blizzard coming. His horse died, so they.
Oh, and he's trying to look $8,000 worth of
Yeah,
bounties.
he's got like three
He's got
dead
three
bodies.
yeah.
And so he hitches a ride with him,
Mhm.
and then they run into
What's his name?
the new sheriff.
The new sheriff.
Uh-huh.
That's what we keep calling him, because it's
But-
Chris Maddox.
Yeah,
Or something like that.
Maddox
I
boy.
think so.
But he's the new sheriff of Red Rock.
Every time I say it, I have to say it in the Domergue voice. It's like, the new sheriff of Red Rock.
Yeah. They run into him. Some shit happens, and then he hitches a ride with them.
Mm-hmm.
They're all going to
Minnie's
haberdashery.
And there's... How many people are there? 4? Mexican
Mexican
Bob.
Joe Gage, Hangman, right?
Mhm.
Not John Ruth, the Hangman, the Hangman.
The actual hangman.
Right.
And...
Well,
And the
old man.
general.
Oh, yeah.
Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, Colonel Sanders.
It's not his actual name.
No.
Or if we could call him. Is there anybody else in there?
Mexican
Well,
Bob.
Minnie's not there.
Minnie is
Minnie
not
away.
there. And this is the first... We don't know it at the time, but Major Warren is immediately suspect of the situation.
Yeah.
Mainly because there's a Mexican in Minnie's haberdashery.
Apparently, Minnie hates Mexicans.
Yeah.
No dogs or Mexicans. And
Yeah.
the only reason that sign came down is because she started letting in dogs.
Yeah. She fucking hates Mexicans. And then... Yeah, I think those are our characters, right? I mean, there's supposed to be 8 of them. Minus OB.
OB is the cab driver.
Yeah. So let's count. I'm going to count just to make sure I don't forget anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt Russell, Samuel L. Jackson, Daisy Domergue. I'm going to count OB just to give a count.
Mm-hmm.
So that's everybody there. And then
Mexican
Nope, you forgot
Bob.
about Chris Maddox.
Chris, thank you, Chris Maddox.
Mexican Bob, the Hangman, and Joe Gage.
And that old man.
Old man.
So if we don't
So that's
count
all
OB,
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there actually is another person there.
Oh, well, yeah, that's not until 2.5 hours into
Yeah.
the movie. Or maybe 2 hours.
All right, this synopsis is going to take forever, but
So, but they all get to Minnie's haberdashery, and then it's just,
they're stuck there. They're snowed in.
yeah, it's 9 people have to get along in one haberdashery for the night. But the trick is that it is highly suspect. Or, like, John Ruth suspects that at least one of them is in cahoots with Daisy Domergue.
Yeah.
And he's not wrong.
He's not wrong. So then the movie just kind of takes place from that, and it's like not really a witch hunt, more of just very, very tense
Mm-hmm.
because everybody's stuck in one room and nobody can get along. And I think at some point it's a black bounty hunter with a bunch of people from the South, and this is right after the Civil War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them was a general in the Civil War.
On the southern side.
Yeah, on the southern side.
But yeah,
So-
people get killed one by one,
Oh yeah,
whether it be
people just start falling.
poisoned coffee or...
Is that what sets that off?
Nope, the first person that gets killed is actually the general.
Yeah, because remember, the coffee gets poisoned during that interaction.
Oh, that's right.
And then John, Ruth, and Obi die from the poisoned coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just...
all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
And then
Samuel
Major Warren
Jackson
gets shot in the nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's a guy in the
Hiding
cellar.
in the basement.
There's a 10th person in the Hateful Eight.
It's Daisy Domergue's brother.
Yeah.
The whole thing was a setup.
Oh, yeah. What's his name?
Something Domingray.
Yeah. The Domingray gang.
Yeah. But yeah, everyone dies except for Major Warren.
Yeah.
And,
Chris Maddox.
yeah.
And I thought that was neat, because they're the only people that weren't supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't notice that the first time through. I'm like, huh. So I guess maybe, since there's 10, right, originally, it's Hateful Eight, maybe it's referring to the 8 that die.
Because this movie, like, wouldn't have been a movie. Because it's just John Ruth against everyone.
Right. He would have just lost. He would have
Yeah.
been poisoned and died. Obi would have died, and then,
Mhm.
oh, look, she's free.
I mean, yeah, they mentioned that they weren't expecting those two guys, so they can't just, like, shoot them.
Right. Plus, the Major is basically a gunslinger, but it is our type of movie.
Through and
It's
through.
just people talking,
And
occasionally something happens.
Yeah. Bloody as all hell, too.
Oh my
When shit does
God.
happen, it might be his goriest movie. Like, it's so over the top in this.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous. I can't really think. Maybe, no.
Glorious Bastards is a little bit. It's...
The only thing I remember from that movie is when they're shooting Hitler in the face.
Well, doesn't... what's
It's,
his
like,
name?
fucking tearing to shreds.
Doesn't Brad Pitt, like...
They scalp the
Carve?
Nazis.
Okay.
They scalp him, and then at the end, he cuts a swastika into Hans Landa.
Oh, okay.
Hans
Landa.
Landa.
I was
That's
trying
his
to
name.
remember his name the other day. He was like, Hans Gruber? I'm like, I don't know. That might be a real Nazi.
Yeah.
Hi there. Future Joel here. Hans Gruber is actually the character played by Alan Rickman in Die Hard. I am not a smart man. Back to the show.
Oh, no, Django's pretty gory, too.
Yeah.
It's these two westerns that are, like, fucking ridiculous with gore.
Well, like, so, I guess, let's talk about the gore of Hateful Eight. The last half an hour, where it's just, I say just, it's still the majority of the characters, but Samuel L. Jackson and the new sheriff of Red Rock are hanging out on the bed, and Daisy Domergue is chained to dead John Ruth.
Yep.
And the hangman, what's his actual name?
I don't know.
Crazy Pete. Otto.
Otto.
That's his real name, I think.
Mhm.
One of his real. I have to look it up. It's a great name. Remember his real name?
Oh, his real name?
Oswaldo Mowbray.
Oswaldo. There it is.
So it's Oswaldo, Joe Gage, and
Mexican Bob's dead already.
Yeah, Mexican
He got
Bob
shot.
Fucked.
Oswaldo's bleeding out.
Uh-huh.
Joe Gage is fine.
Mhm.
Daisy Domergue is covered in John
Covered.
Ruth's blood.
What?
Well, actually, and her brother's brains.
Yeah.
'Cause he-
Literally, she's wiping it and squeezing it out of
Yeah.
her hair and off of her face, and she's just putting more on because it's on her hands too. It's so gory.
That's the goriest shot, is when Channing Tatum
Yeah.
comes up out of the cellar. And he just fucking shoots him in the head, and brains go everywhere.
Oh, and like Daisy Domergue's teeth get knocked out, so she's
Mhm.
just bleeding out her mouth. And then at some point, she cuts off to escape. She gets a machete and cuts off John Ruth's arm that's still chained to her. So she's dragging around. Kurt Russell's arm, and they hang her. That's the last shot of the movie.
Yep.
Is Samuel L. Jackson sitting on a bed, completely blood-soaked, with the son of a Southern general.
It's kind of beautiful, isn't it?
It is.
The raging racist and the only black guy in the movie become friends. And
Become friends by hanging Daisy Domergue slowly, like they just slowly drag her up inch by inch.
They probably die too.
Oh, 100%.
They have to.
So
She's bleeding out.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, they're fucked. They're fucked. Maybe Chris will survive, but he'll lose his leg.
Yeah.
Because it's Civil War era.
Yeah.
There's no medicine. Shot in the leg, chop it off. Don't need it anymore. So I think that's a decent synopsis.
Yeah, I mean...
we went through the whole movie.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of small events, in quotes, that happen, like making coffee. I guess there's a whole flashback that we missed. Like,
yeah.
There's a
Shows
flashback.
them killing Minnie and everyone that's usually there.
Yeah, it shows who's actually in cahoots with Daisy, and it's everybody except the old man.
Yeah.
Who they paid to keep quiet.
Yeah.
Or threatened, I guess, to keep quiet.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a very entertaining movie. The dialogue is just like, it's so over the top. But
It's so funny,
It's
too.
so fucking funny.
Like, I can't believe how much I actually laughed during this movie.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it would be a comedy.
No.
But I don't know if it is a comedy, but it's very funny.
It's just Tarantino, like, doing his usual thing, and then just bumping it up, like, 50 notches.
Yeah. So that's what I was trying to get across to you the night we watched it.
Yeah.
Where I was like, this movie feels a little bit too Tarantino-y for me tonight. And I was like, I just didn't know how to explain it. But it's like, his dialogue is always snappy, it's always entertaining, it's always like, not really how people talk.
No.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But in this, it's like way over the top. And I guess I wasn't expecting it, or I wasn't in the mood for it. But I still had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So it was like, when they're sitting at the dinner table, and they're talking about Major Marquis's Lincoln letter.
Oh, yeah.
Which we can get into in a second. But the new sheriff of Red Rock is like, you have a letter from Abraham Lincoln. Yes. The president. Yes. The president of the United States, Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this goes on for like 2 minutes.
There's like a couple more iterations of that. Just, you.
Yeah.
Yeah. A letter.
Yeah.
Yes. Can I read it? No. I've waited so long.
Yeah.
He ends up letting him read it in the end.
Oh my... Okay, so this letter is a whole thing. There's a lot of... I'm not going to call them gags. Just reoccurring... Might just be, basic setup and payoff.
Yeah.
Over the top, though.
Yeah.
Because this letter seems... It's so pointless in the long run. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it got him on the carriage, though.
It did. But
the movie wouldn't happen without it.
That's true. But as many times as it's mentioned, it's just like, my God, it's so funny.
And it's a crock of shit, too.
Right. So Major Marquis Warren carries around a letter supposedly written by Abraham Lincoln because, Major, he served in the Civil War, and it's written as if he is a personal friend. And John Ruth the Hangman loves that letter because he's a Northerner, I'm pretty sure. Or he might be a Southerner, but he's not. He doesn't share their ideals.
Mm-hmm.
And he lets Samuel L. Jackson on the carriage, and he lets him see his letter. Maybe it's the other way around. He lets him on the carriage, and he's like, hey, because I let you on the carriage, can I see that letter again?
Yeah.
And he reads it, and Daisy Domergue spits on it. Yeah. And it causes the carriage to have to stop for a few minutes.
Because he punches her out the carriage.
Yeah. And then it comes up later at that dinner table, and it comes out that the whole thing is completely made up. And he's like, got me on that carriage, didn't it? And it's, oh my gosh. Yeah. That door thing just happens several times.
That's a gag.
It
has no, well, I guess. They shot it out. Mexican Bob shot it out at the beginning. Yeah. Not in the beginning, but in the prologue.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
In the prologue,
the pre-sequel act.
Yeah.
Act 2.5.
Yeah.
I love that Mexican Bob is clearly a brute, but is constantly doing chores.
Yeah.
He's the biggest, bulkiest man there.
Plucking the chicken.
Yeah.
Playing the piano.
Putting the horses away. He's basically taken over Minnie's haberdashery.
Yeah.
It's you can very clearly see he's a thug.
Yeah. I love Mexican Bob.
I love the way he says his name.
Yeah.
Bob.
I like the whole time that you can tell that Major Warren is suspicious of, like, Bob and the haberdashery, like, what's going on in it.
Yeah.
And then at the end, when he explains it, it's like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. Like, Bob is definitely not where he's supposed to be.
Right. According to Minnie, at least.
Yeah.
No Mexicans in the haberdashery.
Jesus.
This movie is also extremely racist.
It is.
Well, I mean, it's a timepiece, right?
I don't know if it's accurate of the times and
Yeah.
location, but
I would say it is.
yeah. I don't know if, I guess in terms of how people felt about Mexican people, I don't know if that's accurate.
I'm not
But
sure.
that might have just been Minnie's personal preference.
Yeah. Doesn't like Mexicans.
Yeah. But the Civil War era stuff is definitely accurate.
Yeah.
That is something that I wanted to mention. Tarantino does historical fiction very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
He does.
Like, with the next movie we're going to talk about, and with, like, Inglourious Bastards, Django, he likes historical fiction, and he does it well.
Yeah. It's always accurate enough and entertaining enough to not be, like, blatantly offensive. To just be, like, it doesn't just piss people off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And people try to claim he's like a racist, but like
It's like he made a movie set in the 1800s. It would be strange if
Yeah.
it wasn't.
in the black guy always comes out on top, and like
Yeah.
these racial
Every single time, right?
Django,
is
this one,
the Jew hunter, and the Jew bear.
the
The Jew bear comes out
Yeah.
on top. Well, I
the
guess
bear Jew.
The bear Jew.
Yeah.
The bear Jew. Well, he dies, but the Jew hunter gets what was coming to him.
Yeah. So yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
He ends the war 2 years early by killing Hitler in the theater.
Yep. He does history very well in his
Yeah.
films.
Yeah.
I think most of them are like historical, right?
I didn't notice that until you pointed it out.
It's probably like half and half.
Yeah,
Because you got the westerns and you got Once Upon a Time, Inglourious Bastards. That's 4 of them.
that's how many are there? Do you know?
That was his. There's 9 now.
9. Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's
Well, there's like Jackie Brown, which is not
Jackie.
historical.
It's just
there's Deathproof,
It's contemporary.
which is not historical.
Pulp Fiction is
Not historical.
no.
Are Kill Bill Tarantino movies?
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, neither of those are historical.
So it is about 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the other one with Mr. Pink and Mr. White.
Oh, Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
That was his debut. So
So I guess every history, he does about half. And then every single one is wonderful.
yeah, they're all wonderful. They're all great movies.
Yeah. I just mean it's historical
Yeah.
fiction. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh, the fucking guitar.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's worth mentioning.
That's a good story. You told me that story.
I did.
Were you able to tell that?
I don't remember exactly like what the brand of the guitar was or how much it was worth.
It's antique.
It's
Genuine
an antique, and it's practically priceless.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know why they had that on set. I guess it just sounds really good. I don't know.
Maybe. It might have just been a Tarantino thing. So
Yeah.
I want a real antique.
Yeah, probably. But Daisy Domergue plays a song. I don't know. 2 hours in the movie.
Yeah.
She plays a song and she starts saying something about, she starts like warping the song and saying John Ruth is going to die or something. I don't remember exactly what the lyrics were. But Kurt fucking Russell takes this priceless guitar,
Thinking it's a prop.
thinking it's a prop, and he smashes it on the fucking post and the haberdashery.
Completely destroyed.
Obliterates it. And the actress that plays Daisy Domergue like freaks out,
Yeah.
and it's completely unscripted
Yeah. And that.
because
that
she's like
freak out.
actually freaking out that he just destroyed this guitar.
I just love that freak out is still in the movie.
Yeah,
Because it's so perfect.
yeah.
How bad must Kurt Russell felt? Like, oh, fuck.
It's like, oh
Well,
shit.
that's the last time they used
I
real things on set.
I think that's the last time that company
Yeah.
lent them anything.
Mhm.
So speaking of historical fiction, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yes.
So this is going to be kind of a fun one
Mhm.
because me and you, Marisa, have a unique opinion on this movie.
Because me and Joel did not know about Sharon Tate murders until after we saw the movie for the first time.
Yeah. And this was our second viewing. So we
So
saw
this
it,
time-
learned about the murders, and then watched it.
We knew about it, but
So we can speak on. I'd say we're probably part of a fairly small population that doesn't know about.
Well, I mean, it came out in, 2019? I don't know if a lot of people know about that. It happened in, 69?
Yeah, but everybody knows about Charlie Manson.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't
It's
know.
like-
I think there's probably a good amount of people that
Maybe.
just don't fucking know.
Could be.
well, 'cause
I guess
it
in
was-
our circle then.
Yeah.
Because
I remember when this movie came out, there were a lot of people that were upset about how Tarantino portrayed what actually happened, which this was historical fiction. It's not
right,
it's not real.
it's the classic story. Once upon a time,
Were people pissed with what he did with Inglourious Bastards? You know?
Yay! Hitler's dead! Yay! That's not what happened.
Yeah. I don't know.
Hitler still had time
It's-
to kill 4 more million Jews.
It's fiction.
Yeah, so
You know? I don't know.
Dumb. But at least in our circle, we have a fairly unique opportunity because we can speak on the movie from not knowing what the fuck the movie's about and how the movie is built around you kind of knowing.
In a
what's coming.
sense.
Yeah, parts of this movie completely rely on you knowing what's going to happen to Sharon Tate. Otherwise, it does not make any sense.
Yeah. So, if you don't know that, you're like,
Why are we
Who's-
following around
who's-
Margot Robbie?
yeah, who's Margot Robbie in this movie?
Right.
She does nothing.
Yeah.
She just dances and looks pretty.
So I guess...
which I'm fine with her.
Oh, well,
dancing
I'm
in
100% fine with that.
Yeah. But then you get to the end. I guess, well, we should probably do a synopsis before we get to the end.
Yeah.
But
So
how do we summarize
what actually
this movie?
happens in this movie?
This is a
Nothing
movie-
happens.
This is
This is a movie about a fictional actor and his stunt double.
a washed up actor,
Yeah.
and it's his journey of just
Finding
his
success
career in free fall, and then finding a little bit in Italian movies, and then
Yeah. And then calling it quits.
yeah.
And
and then coming
His-
home.
and and the other parts of this movie, I don't think Rick Dalton has anything to do. Rick Dalton is the fictional actor played by Leo
Yeah.
DiCaprio. I don't think he has anything to do with the Charles Manson side of this. I don't think
He
Not
does.
until the end.
right, not until the flamethrower bit.
Yeah.
But it's all we have.
You have two
Rick-
stories.
We almost have 3. We have Rick Dalton's story,
Yeah.
and then we have his stunt double, and which is Brad Pitt,
Cliff Booth.
and then we have the sort of extra bits.
Yeah.
We have some stuff with Margot Robbie as Sharon Tate, and some stuff with the Manson family,
Uh-huh.
and that's over on its own. But the Manson family things never interact with Leonardo DiCaprio. They all interact with Brad Pitt
hmm
or nobody.
Yeah.
So it's completely separate from the main plot of the movie.
Yeah.
And it's just injected every once in a while to remind you what part of history this is and what this story is based off of.
hmm
And then at the end, after we see the whole movie with the tidbits about Sharon Tate and how Rick Dalton's an Italian superstar now.
I did lie a little bit. I forgot. Rick Dalton is next door neighbors with Sharon Tate. That's
Yeah.
their only interaction.
That's the only thing.
And they don't interact the whole movie until the end,
Right.
anyway.
Right.
And Roman Polanski's in it a little bit.
Right, because
He's like, oh, shit.
it's his house.
Yeah, he's like Roman Polanski.
Right
Rosemary's Baby. Hottest director in town. But yeah, Sharon Tate has nothing to do with Leo, at all.
Right.
Or Cliff Booth at all.
Right.
She's just in it to remind you that Sharon Tate was
murdered.
alive and she was a star during this time.
Yeah.
And then you're like, if you know the backstory, you're like, well, she fucking dies. Like,
So-
you get like dates every now and then,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like 1969 or whatever. And you're like, oh, Margot Robbie's gonna like die soon.
So, I guess as far as the background is concerned, it's the Manson family murders orchestrated supposedly by Charles Manson, carried out by Tex Watson.
Yeah, Tex.
So Tex and a couple other people of the Manson family broke into Sharon Tate's home in Hollywood Hills and murdered her, and she was very pregnant.
Yeah.
Her friend, her boyfriend, and her friend's boyfriend, I think. Definitely, at least, at the very least, Sharon Tate and her baby. But I think it was everyone in the house.
Mm-hmm. Her boyfriend, not her husband, Roman
Right.
Polanski.
Well, they were in an open.
He was in like Europe making
Yeah.
a movie or something.
They call it out. I think it was an open relationship anyway.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, called out by Steve McQueen.
right, who shows up for exposition?
Yeah, Steve McQueen's there.
Kind of like how Margot Robbie showed up for exposition in
The
Big
Big
Short.
Yeah.
So like that's the history of the event, and that's the only reason Margot Robbie's in the movie. It's just to show you, yeah, here she is. You know what's coming. You think you know what's coming.
And if you know what's coming, you're like, oh, our protagonist lived next to Sharon Tate in 1969.
Hmm.
That's kind of strange.
Like, are we just going to tell parallel stories, or are these going to interact?
Yeah. And they
'Cause
don't interact until the
literally-
very end.
Literally, like the last scene,
Yeah.
right? Minus like the little scene at the very end where they go have drinks and stuff. But
Yeah. So yeah, if you know what's happening, the third act can be pretty tense leading up. Well, I mean, it is tense. Like once you realize, oh, they're gonna go kill someone in Rick's neighborhood. You don't really know who. They just kind of show up. They don't really say, hey, we're here to kill Sharon Tate. I don't know. But I mean, Charles Manson does show up earlier in the movie at Sharon Tate's house.
He's
That's
looking
funny.
for like somebody
An old,
else.
old
He says
tenant.
he's looking for somebody.
Yeah, well, he's not.
No,
But
he's full of shit.
yeah.
Did they ever name him?
No,
No,
they
you're just
say
supposed-
Charlie.
They just say Charlie.
Well, Pussycat says Charlie.
Charlie went here. And,
Yeah.
okay.
But yeah, you're supposed to, I guess you're just supposed to recognize that, oh, this guy looks like Charlie Manson.
Yeah. And you know, so without knowing the history, this movie's fucking weird. All the Rick Dalton, Cliff Booth stuff works on its own. Good movie.
Yeah.
Entertaining. But then it's like we are following around Margot Robbie as she goes to a movie theater and watches a Sharon Tate movie
With her fucking feet out.
with
Her dirty ass feet, by the
Fucking
way.
nasty.
filthy. And then we have her at a party, and we have, a random guy. It's like, I didn't even connect this with Charles Manson at all until literally after the movie. Until I saw, like, the credits, and it was, like, Manson family. I'm like, oh. But, like, some random guy shows up to other random characters' house that don't have anything to do with the main plot.
Yeah.
And then Cliff Booth goes to old movie set that has a bunch of strange youngins living there, making livings off of weird things, like horseback riding in the hills.
Yeah.
It's like, huh. I don't mind, because I'm watching Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
But it's like,
I don't mind anything if I'm watching Brad Pitt.
exactly. And then it's like, I just don't know what this has anything to do
Yeah.
with Rick Dalton needing to memorize his lines
Yeah.
for...
On the set of Lancer.
Uh-huh. And then it's like, oh, at the very end, oh, they were coming to kill Sharon Tate? Margot Robbie? Were they?
They do say in the movie, like, Charlie said to go to this person's old house
And kill the people.
and kill the people in there.
Yeah.
So they were planning in the movie to go kill Sharon Tate and her friends.
Yeah. But that's like at the end of the movie.
Like, as it's happening.
Right. Like, they're driving to the house and then say, Hey, we're going to this house to kill people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the only reason that they don't is because Rick Dalton comes out.
Drunk as shit.
Drunk as fuck.
Still holding an entire pitcher of margarita.
Calling them a bunch of hippies and get off my private drive. Yeah.
Put a goddamn muffler on that car.
Yeah. I just want to mention, I love Leo's performance in this. It's like,
Yes.
I do have a soft spot for him, but he's so fucking good in this movie.
Yeah. So, I think I asked you this already. I asked you this the night we watched it. But I was wondering, Rick Dalton is like a washed up actor seeking lower roles. And I was wondering if that was analogous to where, I guess it would be kind of Brad Pitt, but like Leo was, like actors, Leo is not young. Like he's pretty
45-ish.
So he's not like young and spry, but he's not old. He's not like 80.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if it was like that character was kind of a representation of these two lead actors a little bit. And the thing that made me think that is, this might not even be around the same time, but I think when I watched it the first time, the last thing I heard about Leo was him desperately trying to get an Oscar.
Well, he already won an Oscar
at that point.
For Revenant.
For Revenant, yeah.
Okay. So I was like, that was in my head, and then I'm like, I wonder if this is a little bit meta.
Yeah.
And it might still be meta about Brad Pitt, because he's older. And
I don't know, though. I mean, they're having really good careers.
Yeah,
even now.
It's like,
I
love these two actors, but I'm just wondering where their careers were when this came out.
Yeah. Well, I think Leo's always been a hot commodity. He only makes a movie like every 4 years.
Oh, jeez.
So, and Brad Pitt won an Oscar for his role in this.
Oh, he's fucking great.
He's really good in this. So, yeah, I don't know.
I'm sad Leo spent 4 of those years working on Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
Remember that movie? Imagine Romeo and Juliet. Set in like Miami.
Yeah.
And it's between
in the 90s.
2 random non-existent gangs.
Yeah.
And
You've
Leo
never
is
heard
a
of
gang
this?
member.
You've never heard of this?
I remember...
You're so lucky.
Yeah.
Well, no, I remember a Romeo and Juliet movie with Leo in it, but it doesn't...
No, it's that one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's in like a regular Romeo and Juliet.
Oh. I feel like I've seen it.
I'm sorry for you.
Because Leo's a gangster, right?
Yeah, he's...
Especially in the 90s, pretty boy Leo.
Yeah, clearly. Fresh off Titanic.
Fresh off Titanic. Could really buy him in that.
Pretty boy Leo.
Pretty boy Leo.
I mean, that's what he was in the 90s.
Wielding
That's
his G16 sideways.
Yeah. I mean, he's always been like a good actor, but I don't think he was really recognized in the industry for his chops. I think it was more like he's the pretty boy right now, and all the girls are going crazy. We gotta get him.
Wasn't he the kid in
What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
Yes. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty boy.
Well, yeah, I think. Well, so yeah. That might have been his debut, I think.
It was a hell of a
I wrote
debut.
a speech on him in speech. I think, if I'm remembering correctly, it was his debut. If not, it was his second.
Okay.
After Titanic, he was the pretty boy.
Sure.
He's got some notes.
Yeah.
I was bored at work. So literally while I was waiting for a download, I'm like, I'm just going to write everything I think about these movies. Just write it down.
We never finished the fucking synopsis of the movie.
Kinda.
So, the Manson family comes to kill Sharon Tate, but then sees Rick Dalton and decides to go into his house instead. And Cliff Booth is there, and he fucking decimates
Him and his dog, Brandy.
Oh my god.
the Manson family.
Mm-hmm.
Like, literally...
It is so good.
They're mauled to death.
It is so fucking brutal to
This
watch.
is the best scene of the movie.
It's worth watching. It's like...
Just for that.
Yeah.
Like, he curb stomps Tex.
Oh my gosh, he curb stomps Tex. He 6 Brandy on several people.
Yeah.
He throws a can of dog food at a
And breaks
woman's
this bitch's nose.
Uh-huh.
And then he's like bashing the redhead against like the phone, the fucking poster, the fireplace.
The mantle.
Everything.
Literally caves her face in.
Yeah.
And then...
All while he's tripping on acid.
Oh, he is tripping on acid.
He got stabbed in the leg, and he's just completely out of it.
Yeah. And then the other chick who got her nose broken, she's like fucking freaking out.
Yeah.
And then she manages to make her way outside into the pool where Rick Dalton's at.
Well, she's being mauled.
Yeah,
She got her nose broken. She got something else, I think, and is being mauled by Brandy the whole time he's dealing with everybody else.
Yeah. But she finds her way into the pool, scares the shit out of Rick Dalton.
Yeah, because he's just been chilling in the pool
this whole
time.
He has no idea.
It's just been Cliff Booth hanging out in the house, just taking care of business.
And then he freaks out. It's fucking hilarious. And then earlier in the movie, if you don't know the ending, you don't really catch it. But Cliff Booth comes in to his shed or whatever. Well, okay. It's established earlier that Rick Dalton starred in a Nazi movie, and he had a flamethrower.
I have a question about this in a minute.
Okay.
In a minute.
Okay. It's established he starred in a movie with a flamethrower or whatever, and then we see later, if you catch it, that he still has the flamethrower in his shed, and he freaks out, fucking whatever, and he comes in goes into the shed and he comes out with the flamethrower and torches her. It's fucking hilarious, like the music that plays when he has it.
It is the most over-the-top, gratuitously violent scene. It's not as gory.
No.
But it's as Hateful Eight, but it might be more violent.
It is.
Like...
It's
so good, though.
It's so fun to watch.
The whole time you're watching it, your mouth is just jaw-dropped, just open.
So before knowing the history, it was like, it's just self-defense.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, you'd have no idea as to the context of why it's so brutal. It's just like, oh, he's tripping on acid. Maybe he doesn't know he's being that brutal. I guess you do have the context of him beating the fuck out of Bruce Lee.
And he killed his wife, too.
He did kill his wife.
Yeah, that's mentioned a few times.
By Kurt
Russell, which is the whole point of us watching this movie, because
Yes.
Kurt Russell's in it for like 5 minutes.
He's the director, producer, or something of Green Hornet, and Bruce Lee is in Green Hornet.
Yeah.
And he beats the shit out of Bruce Lee. But, yeah, he's actually in it for like a minute.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. He just walks into hair and makeup or whatever and talks to Rick Dalton and then to Cliff Booth, and then his wife yells at him, and then
who's played by Zoe Bell, who is
Really?
Yeah. And she's in Hateful Eight. She's the carriage driver. What's her name? 6 horse something. I'm the only one that can drive 6 horses, or something like that.
Oh yeah.
So this was a Zoe Bell night too.
It is.
Yeah.
Anyway, after, so that scene before you know the history is, it's a little odd. It's like, it's fun to watch, just doesn't make a whole lot of sense as to why it's so over the top. But after you know the history, it's just like, it's to the viewer that is aware of the events that actually happened, it is a revenge scene.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yep.
Even though in the context of the world it's not revenge, but you get revenge on the Manson family in that scene, and it's so satisfying. Doesn't at the end? Yeah, they put Cliff Booth into an ambulance, and Rick Dalton finally gets to go hang out with some Hollywood stars. He gets some recognition.
Yep.
By talking to
his neighbor,
Sharon Tate's boyfriend,
Jay.
Yeah, Jay Sebring.
Yep.
And then doesn't he say, he's like, yeah, fried her to a crisp, something like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just nonchalant.
Yeah.
With what? I got a flamethrower in my shed.
Like 14/5 of McCluskey. It's like, yeah.
It's like, oh, and it's, which is nice because you get like the satisfaction of what the movie is really about in the Sharon Tate stuff. But then you also get, in that moment, satisfied at Rick Dalton's full arc, because this whole movie he's been seeking recognition. And he got recognition at the very end. He's like, he had it the whole time.
Yeah.
One of my favorite scenes is on the set of Lancer, and the movie within the movie sort of thing, where he's like forgetting his lines, and then you watch the camera roll back.
Like, line. Can we just go back, please?
No, just say the line. Just go back. Just say the line. Just say. Okay, roll it back to 1.
Yeah.
Wheels the camera back around. Then we start the whole scene over.
That's interesting, because like it gives you a perspective on how movies are made, too.
Yeah, this movie, I think it's very meta, because it is a genuine event that happened in like the Sharon Tate murders. So it is aware that the viewer is aware of what's supposed to happen.
If you don't really know about the backdrop of the Sharon Tate stuff, it's still, you can still enjoy this movie.
Yeah.
It's a very good, Rick Dalton's story is very enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
It's well written, and it's...
I love the stuff with the little kid, too.
Yeah, the little kid's amazing.
I wouldn't say I feel like Tarantino movies are good at being heartwarming.
No, they're not.
But when she says, that is the best acting I have ever seen.
Yeah.
It's like, aw,
Yeah.
thanks. And then at the end, when Rick Dalton's like, yeah, come on in for drinks. Or, I'm sorry, when Sharon Tate to Rick Dalton is like, come on in for drinks, we'll talk.
Yeah.
It's like, that's very somber, which is not something you would ever get in Hateful Eight, Deathproof.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah,
it's bittersweet.
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah, but I will say I definitely enjoyed this movie without knowing the backdrop, and then rewatching it again, you enjoy it. I wouldn't say even more with the knowledge, but just you do still enjoy it.
More things make more sense.
Yeah.
You're kind of in the loop.
A couple things are more satisfying, but for us, it's also a second viewing.
Mm-hmm.
I guess like the best way to watch this movie is know what it's about and then go watch it.
Yeah,
movie.
I like it. It's grown on me a lot since it came out.
Yeah,
because I was like, going into it, I was expecting a Tarantino movie. This kind of isn't that.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't have the same kind of dialogue even.
No. So I was like, I was kind of disappointed. I was like, okay, it's not my favorite.
Yeah,
but it's a good movie. But it has grown on me since I was rewatching it.
Me too, especially learning the history.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I love this movie.
I know
really do. I want to watch it again already.
I know this is kind of like polarizing, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
People either hate it or you really like it, from what I've seen. So, but yeah, good
but
movie.
we all like it,
Mm-hmm.
so
time for your favorite of the night.
I don't know if it's still my favorite of the night.
At the time,
maybe it's just a raw, like, God, I fucking love that movie.
Well, the last little bit is very satisfying.
It's very validating in my femininity.
Mm-hmm. So
the last movie we watched was Deathproof, which is about a guy who kills women for sport.
It's another stuntman.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a stuntman that kills women for sport.
Yeah, yes. Played by Kurt Russell.
This was the second actual Kurt Russell movie we watched.
Right.
In our Kurt Russell night.
In our Kurt Russell Tarantino night. So he kills women for sport and he gets away with it. So it's like the same movie twice. So the first time he kills these women and gets away with it. The second time, these women are also stunt women, and they come back and they fucking beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
They fucking kill him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so he kills people. You mentioned with his car. The car is death-proof because it's a stunt car. Yeah. So they
for the driver.
Right.
So I like this movie because it shows women being badass, and I am a woman that likes to be badass.
I will appreciate that because it's not Ghostbusters.
Yeah, right.
2016. It's like, It is actually several strong female characters, literally.
Yeah.
And
figuratively. I don't know if they're actually strong characters.
Right.
They're like
kind
a
of,
writing sense.
They're kind of caricatures.
Yeah. But they're like...
They're
badass
they're physically strong, and they use traits and attributes of their character, of like themselves, to overcome this. It's not just like... It's not they win because they're women. It's they win because they're stunt people, and they know how to do this.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this movie, to be honest with you. Because like you mentioned, it's the same movie twice.
It literally
with a different ending.
Right. The movie is, we establish a group of women. They talk for a while. Very Tarantino-esque. They just have a lot of dialogue that doesn't sound like real dialogue, but is very entertaining. For like half an hour. And we establish all of their interpersonal relationships. We introduce Kurt Russell into the mix. It is weird to see Kurt Russell be a creepy guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But he is. He's very creepy.
He's creepy.
Yeah.
And then Kurt Russell hunts them down with the car. And then in the first half, obliterates.
He fucking...
This is also gory.
Yeah.
I forgot about this scene, but this is incredibly gory.
Very.
You watch someone sticking their leg out the window when they get hit. That's gone.
You watch a tire rub up on somebody's face.
Completely distort it.
One gets ejected from the windshield.
Yeah.
So,
but Kurt Russell is death-proof.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
And he purposefully did not drink anything at all that night so that they couldn't say it was a drunk driving accident on his part.
Right. It was the women that were drinking from the bar.
Yep.
Right. He planned this.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a dirty, dirty man, and I don't like him.
Mm-hmm. Dirty, stinky, icky, gross.
Not Kurt Russell personally, but like in this movie, his
stuntman
character. Yeah.
And then they go to the hospital because they've been in a horrendous car accident. Well, Kurt Russell goes to the hospital.
Yeah, they're dead.
They go to the morgue.
They're fucking toast.
Which is, I guess, in the hospital.
Is it? Is the morgue in the hospital?
I think so.
Yeah.
Sometimes, anyway.
I guess I'm thinking of like the coroner's office.
Oh.
The police shows.
Yeah.
But
they might have just taken him there.
Yeah. Straight to the cemetery.
Yeah.
And then there's like a cop that is aware of what Kurt Russell is doing, just can't prove it.
Yeah.
And then Kurt Russell moves states, and then he's out of the movie for another half an hour.
Yeah.
Where we introduce another group of women who talk for another half an hour, and then we reintroduce Kurt Russell, and then he hunts them down with the car, and they hunt him down again. Like they flip the script.
One thing I do want to mention, so this is part of Grindhouse, right?
Mm-hmm.
The 2-pack Planet Terror in this.
Is Planet Terror the one with the M16 leg?
Yeah, okay. It is. But the more I thought about it, the more it bothered me. Because you mentioned to me, you were talking about it, I was like, it's whatever. But I get it, it's Grindhouse, but it doesn't do anything for the movie. And they just completely drop it halfway through. So you have like, what is it?
Oh, like the visual editing choices?
Yeah.
That stuff?
In the film, like, burn? I don't know.
Yeah,
it's weird.
It's not grain, but it looks like shitty film.
Yeah. It's Grindhouse.
Yeah.
So I get it. It's Grindhouse. Sure. Awesome. But it doesn't do anything
and
in terms of the story, and it gets dropped. That's the part that bothers me, is that it just completely gets dropped.
So, and then after it gets dropped, I think I get more pissed off. Because it gets dropped, and then we have just normal movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then it fades to black and white.
Yeah, for like 5 minutes.
And then it's not black and white anymore. But then there's a specific scene where it's the second group of 4 girls that are talking to some guy that owns, what's her name? The Kiwi? Yeah, the New Zealander.
Zoe?
Yeah. Owns her dream car.
Yeah, it's like
I don't even know.
A Charger or
some
Camaro or something.
muscle car.
Yeah.
It's a Dodge something.
Sure. Could be. I believe you. They're talking to this guy, and they're talking amongst themselves, and between shots it changes saturation.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh, I remember that.
yeah, you're the one that pointed that out. I'm like, her shirt's more pink from the back.
I don't know if that was intentional.
Because-
Quentin Tarantino
because
is a very
it's
competent
Exactly.
filmmaker. I don't
Because
think
it's
that would just
Tarantino.
happen.
Exactly. Like, I feel like somebody chose this,
Mhm.
and that makes me more mad. Because it's like, you chose to do something that was under the guise of being artistic or representative of an era, but does not actually implement that era. It's like a mask.
Yeah.
It's a ruse, a facade.
Yeah, it just... Yeah, I don't know. It bothers me,
Mm-hmm.
to say the least. And I don't know. It's just strange. If you want to keep it all the way through, sure. But
Right.
dropping it is just very odd to me.
It's like the same level of like the artistic choice of shooting the lighthouse the way that it was. It's like we're making a very specific choice to do it in black and white 4x3 the whole time.
Yeah.
It's like it is not, representative of what movies are capable of doing today.
Yeah.
It's not also, reflective of a very specific time period, but it is just, we're going to pare this down and do this artistically because we want to, and it achieves an effect, but this is just a filter.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was recorded on that type of film.
Well,
but
it actually was.
It makes it feel like a filter.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't... It's very weird.
I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know how to feel about this, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Same movie twice. They drop the Grindhouse.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know. I just don't really care about any of the characters because we're not given time to.
Right. We have exactly enough time to realize who they are and then and then Kurt Russell kills them.
Yeah.
Or not. But the second half, I'm sorry, I guess the last quarter I found very fun and satisfying because it's just watching muscle cars.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm a very simple man.
Oh,
I watch muscle cars all
I agree.
day.
I could watch.
Chase each other.
Yeah, I agree.
Just hear the rev of the engine.
Yep, I'm the same way.
Even I had fun.
Yeah.
I'm not a car person.
Yeah, I'm not a car person. I just every once in a while. It's just fun to see that.
I mean, the car chase scenes, they're well done.
Mm-hmm.
Especially by...
They feel genuine. I don't
Yeah.
know how they would have faked that highway chase.
Yeah.
It's I wonder how many of those drivers are stunt drivers. Hopefully all of them.
Hopefully all of them, but... Yeah. Oh.
But do you want to talk about your favorite? Probably your favorite scene? The last scene?
Yeah, so they literally get out of the car and they have this pole or something, and they just beat the shit out of Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
And they're
fuck him up.
punching him and
He's going around in a circle.
around.
They're
It's
fucking taking
it's
turns
kind of
punching him.
comical.
Oh, it
almost.
is comical.
It is purely comical. They're editing it. They're cutting between all the different characters,
Mm.
and it's edited in such a weird way.
But yeah, they beat the shit out of this guy who murders women for sport, and I think it was deserving.
All the while, he's whining like a little baby.
He's a complete pussy.
It's so funny because throughout the rest of the movie, he's so cool, so calm and collected,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, "Don't kill me, no, I
Yeah.
don't want to die."
And then he gets
He's-
a boot heel to the face.
And then it's it may as well have happened. All of the characters cheer and
No, they do. They literally do.
They all cheer and freeze frame, and it's the end.
And then, it goes to credits for half a second,
Uh-huh.
and then it cuts back, and the chick just fucking kills him with her boot heel.
Yeah. There was one really good, really tense, continuous scene of Zoe being stuck on the hood of the car.
Yeah.
And it's fucking hell.
Mhm.
I don't even know how somebody can hold on for that long, but it's I know that's true. You can. Really hard, I bet. But
Mhm.
if you fall off at any point, you're done.
And then they're fucking crazy. They're like, let's go kill him.
It's so funny.
There's the gag of Zoe always landing on her feet, and she gets launched off when they finally stop into the bushes. I'm like, oh god, no, I don't have the heart to go look, and she just bounces up.
Yeah.
Literally jumps into frame and is like, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I found a tire iron to go fuck some shit up.
Yeah, she's interesting because she's like actually a stunt woman in real life.
Oh, is she?
I think so.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
she's not a very good actress.
Sure. I do enjoy her when she shows up.
Yeah. She's just so witty, and it's like she's just fun to watch.
She does a good job of playing witty New Zealander.
Yeah.
And plays off of her accent very well.
She's always a New Zealander, and no matter what context she's in. Like in the Hateful Eight, she's from New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
Which makes no sense.
None at all. But I was reading up on this movie just because I don't know, I was just very curious about it.
It is an odd one.
I was just so, I don't know. But I guess Kurt Russell's career was kind of like, kind of going down a little bit. He just wasn't like a hot commodity anymore. No one really cared because he was big in the 80s.
Mm-hmm. He
like
was in all the John Carpenter movies.
Yeah.
The best one, Escape from LA.
Yeah. So I guess I was reading up on this, and apparently this movie just kind of revived his career.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because he's actually like been in some big name movies since then.
Yeah.
A lot of them being Tarantino, but still. But yeah. I was the
Bone
person.
Tomahawk.
Yeah.
It's not really a big movie, but it is good.
It's a movie.
Yeah.
It's not like
has a really
straight
good,
to video.
Right.
Well, it might have been.
Well, it's straight to
shouldn't
stream.
have been. It shouldn't have been.
It might have been a stream. Like,
yeah. It's a good movie.
Straight to video doesn't really mean the same thing it used to.
Yeah.
It's not like Aladdin 4.
Yeah, right.
Some movies just come out on streaming services.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's kind of revived his career, apparently. I didn't know that. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
And I was trying to figure out what they were doing with the film in the beginning, like how they made it happen. It doesn't make sense what they tried to do, or how the people were explaining it. It didn't really make any sense.
Okay.
So, I don't know. But yeah, this movie's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's in a good way, though.
It's an oddball. It's definitely unique, and it's I'd say maybe worth watching if you like Tarantino stuff.
Yeah.
Or you like Kurt Russell.
Or you like muscle cars.
Or you like badass women.
That's true.
Except for the first half. Don't worry about that. Just
No,
watch the second half.
Those women get obliterated.
There is one scene in the first half that I really enjoy.
Oh, was it the...
It's the lap dance.
Yeah.
And
you wanted to be either one of those people.
I wanted to be either the person giving Kurt Russell the lap dance or the person receiving a lap dance from whatever that lady was.
Yeah. Whatever
she was.
I meant to say whoever she was. She wasn't a freak. She was very pretty.
She was.
But yeah, you can just watch the second half of this movie.
Or just watch the car chase and then the very last scene.
You'll get the same thing out of it by skipping the first 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, honestly. Well, I don't know how to feel about it.
When did it come out? Do you happen to know that?
Oh, 07.
07. I wonder... No, it's probably not. It's probably not this. I'm wondering if it's some kind of commentary on the progression of movies. Like, starts out with, like, the old movie, old style film.
Oh, I see what you're going for.
And, like, very masculine centered.
Yeah.
And then the second half shifts. I don't know what the black and white shit is, but
maybe that's the moment it shifts.
I would have thought that would have been the hospital. But that's between the two movies.
Yeah.
This is the hospital.
Oh,
You
yeah.
actually could have started it there.
Sure.
You just killed some chicks, dude. Like,
right. But then, like, the second half is a shift towards femininity and, like, female power, I guess.
If that is the case, I'm not sure if it is.
Right.
If that is the case, then bravo, you tricked me. I don't think that is the case, but it might be.
But somebody could definitely take this movie and write an essay about it.
Yeah.
In their social studies class.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I never thought of that.
I don't know. I haven't heard of that at all. Just thought about that maybe 5 minutes ago because I'm like, there's no reason that this needs to be the same movie twice unless it's very important that it gets switched up at the end. But it could also just not be that. I don't know. Maybe Tarantino just wanted to do that.
Maybe. See, that's what I was saying at first. I was like, he probably just wanted to and just did it. But I don't know.
He seems like the kind of director to just do whatever he wants.
I don't know, though. Everything seems to be meticulous in his movies. Seems to be a reason.
Maybe he wants to be meticulous.
Maybe.
Like, I don't know. There's not really a reason why it had to be an antique guitar.
I don't know. This movie's out there. It's definitely different than his other movies.
Would you guys say you liked it, though?
I liked it enough.
I was entertained.
Yeah. I don't know if I thought it was good.
I don't think it's a movie.
I don't know that I think it's a good movie either. I just really enjoyed it.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
But it was at the end of the night after Hateful Eight and Hollywood, it was a little bit of a weird spot to end.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like the least Tarantino movie of well, like maybe Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is the least Tarantino-esque movie.
Yeah.
But it's like the least meticulous movie.
Yeah. It just feels like, why not?
Like we had a premise.
Yeah.
It's a movie on a premise, and then we just have the premise twice.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Worth a watch if you like any of the things we said earlier.
I would agree.
Me too.
So,
I probably wouldn't go out of your way to watch it, though.
No. No, I don't think so. Unless you really love Kurt Russell.
Unless you're having like a girl boss movie night.
Sure. Well, if you're
just watch the second half then.
And
Yeah.
watch Annihilation.
Watch Annihilation.
Watch Alien.
Yeah.
Don't
watch Ghostbusters.
Don't watch
Don't
fucking
watch
Ghostbusters. So I guess I'd like to hear everybody's order for the night. Like the order of the movies from best to worst. Or if you want, favorite to least favorite. Either one.
That is, both of those are different for me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I guess give me both.
So probably favorite to least favorite, I would say Deathproof, Hollywood, Hateful Eight. Not saying that Hateful Eight's a bad movie or that I don't like Hateful Eight. I
It is a
really
high
like
bar.
Hateful Eight.
It's a high bar. It's just relative for the night, so there always has to be a worst one.
Yes. And then probably from best to worst, I would say Hateful Eight, Hollywood, Deathproof.
Okay.
So completely opposite switch for me.
Mm-hmm. About you?
Favorite to least favorite. I'm gonna go Once Upon a Time, Hateful Eight, Deathproof, and it's a pretty big drop off from 2 to 3, I would say. Yeah, I don't know. Deathproof confuses me, so I don't know.
I think when I think of Deathproof, I only think of the second half.
Maybe,
So
yeah.
that's probably why it's like that for me.
Gotcha.
Best to worst. Oh man, that's tough. Deathproof is last.
That's tough. Definitely not this one.
Yeah, definitely not that. I don't know, because I have problems with both of them. Because Once Upon a Time hinges on the fact that you already know something, but it's a very well-made movie, and the main plot is very well-structured, well-written, well-acted, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Hateful Eight, I don't know, it's like, it's just so wacky.
I have a thought on it I'll get to.
So I'm
might
gonna
help you with yours.
I'm gonna go Hateful Eight, Once Upon a Time, and then Deathproof.
Okay.
Again, the
Yeah.
gap between 2 and 3 is pretty big.
So, favorite to least favorite, I gotta say, is Hateful Eight, Once Upon a Time, and then Deathproof. And then best to worst, for similar justification, I think it's the same as yours. Hateful Eight, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and then Deathproof. Deathproof for me is the worst because, it's just not, I don't feel it's very well put together.
No.
Once Upon a Time hinges on prior knowledge. You have to know the lore.
Yeah.
Real life lore. Read the source material. for the full movie to deliver. And it, like,
Yeah.
and then Hateful Eight, I think, doesn't have those problems. But the only problem that I have with it is that it is like, I had it like 2 minutes ago. Hateful Eight is a very convenient movie.
Yeah, I would agree.
Things happen so that the movie may happen. It is very convenient that Samuel L. Jackson meets John Ruth the Hangman, meets the new sheriff of the place that they're going, meets the Hangman, even though it's a cover, but meets the Hangman of this of the city, of the sheriff. You know what I mean? It's like, a lot of these people are way too connected for a fucking mountain in Wyoming.
And I know
to warrant that.
It's not plot armor. That's not the word I'm looking for. Because, I mean, plot armor is like, oh, it's convenient that they lived.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, I don't know. You're right. Everything's just too convenient, I think.
Yeah. Which I would consider a problem. Like, I would consider that to be a problem if the movie was trying to be more realistic, but it's not going for realism. It's going for entertainment value.
Yeah.
And it achieves entertainment.
Because it achieves what I feel is its purpose, I overlook that problem and put it at best.
Yeah.
Even though I think maybe the parts that work in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood soar higher than Hateful Eight, but because it requires its source material, it doesn't.
You can enjoy like 85%
right, and the
of
rest
Once Upon a Time without knowing.
Makes no sense.
Yeah.
Otherwise, whereas you don't need anything to enjoy the Hateful Eight.
Just watch it.
Yeah,
and just watch characters.
So that's that. So now the rankings are out of the way.
On next episode, we'll be watching King Richard.
Oh, and The Green Knight.
Okay,
sorry.
And it's maybe a third movie.
Maybe, if we have time.
Yeah. I'll insert title here, sort of thing. So, change of plans. That episode was kind of lost to time. We will cover The Green Knight, but not for a little while. Next time, we will actually be covering Monster, Tick Tick Boom, and Don't Look Up. That episode should be going up on March 1st, and in the meantime, there's a special mini-episode where we discuss House of Gucci, like we mentioned earlier in this episode. Back to the show.